That is discipline. Selfish.
No joke. We're legitimate.
Fucking do that? Then do it. Do it 100%, because I'm trying to.
We recognize that we are limitless.
You gotta be a champion to become a champion, right? Winning is a habit because we create habits that lead to good execution and success. All right, coaches, players, paintball people, anyone else for that matter, tuning in, even if by accident. Tonight's episode is a big one. We've got Coach Alexey Soloviev, one of the most decorated head coaches in the game, with multiple NXL championships to his name, and a guy who knows exactly what it takes to win at the highest level. All right. Joining him is the captain of the Red Legion, Kirill, coming off a monster year as the MVP of last year's Midwest Open and one of the most dangerous players in pro paintball today. So the Legion, the Red Legion, were Major League Paintball's 2024 series champions, where they won back-to-back events at the Lone Star Major and the Mid-Atlantic Major. They followed that up with a second-place series finish in 2025, where they won the Midwest Open. And despite adversity, roster changes, injuries, the Red Wave keeps rolling. So tonight, we're talking all things Red Legion. Get your questions in the chat, like, share, leave a comment, get your notebook out. This episode is going to be full of useful information. This is championship culture straight from the source. So let's get into it. This is episode 102 of The Coach's Show. The Coach's Show is brought to you by our awesome sponsors, Max Sportswear. Get your deals done before the start of the new season. It's only 4 or 5 weeks away. Contact Charles ASAP at Max Sportswear and have your team looking fresh this year. He has all sorts of deals you can check into. Get maxed. And BKI, the best knowledge in paintball. Sign up at bkipaintball.com and start learning from the pros this very instant. You can have your own mini clinic right there on your computer screen or phone. Go to bkipaintball.com and sign up today. Ryan, when you first told me about this opportunity, I wasn't only excited about it, but I was rushing to come up with questions to ask, and there was just too much. So yeah. I am looking forward to this evening, probably not just because of our guest, but learning myself. And I'm stoked about it. So I do want to put a note out there real quick. When we bring Kirill and Alexey on, we'd like the audience to bear with us since there is a small language barrier. As we ask questions, Kirill will help us translate the question to Alexey and then Kirill back to us. So just want to throw that out there. Ryan, what do you think, man? What do you think?
Man, I'm so excited about this. Like, everybody also keep in mind, they joined us about 25 minutes ago. So like 3:30 in the morning their time. It's 4 a.m. Where they are. So provide a little grace if you don't mind. And I'm incredibly blessed, right, that I get to hang out with these guys kind of throughout the season and hear the conversations that are had and kind of the brilliance of watching, as Kirill would say, the recipe come together, right? And it's really kind of a brilliant process in the way that it works from, the start of the season where the training is happening all the way up to literally the first horn goes off till the last horn goes off. So it's really, it's a blessing. And this, for our viewers, again, it's 4 a.m. there. So this is kind of a unique thing to have Coach Alexey on and have Kirill by his side. So it's a big deal. Really excited for our viewers tonight.
Yeah, same. Very much so. What do you say we bring these two gentlemen in and try and get them through this ordeal so they can get back to bed?
Back to bed. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Yeah, and happy birthday to Coach Mike Bianca.
Oh, that's true. Happy birthday, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. Greatly appreciate it. I had a wonderful weekend coaching the Jungle Cats, and then I spent a lovely evening with my family. I had cannolis, so I'm a happy man. So
Yeah, so let's jump right in. You guys, we want to try to give you guys an opportunity to get out and go back to bed if possible. So we'll try to rush through this kind of meaningfully, but also quickly and swiftly. So let's kind of start off with the start of last season. So come into the season, the roster looks very similar to last year with a couple of additions. Michael Johnson comes in, but pretty much everything else stays the same. You still have the same kind of developmental group, and then sort of the 5 starters, if you will. Midway through the year, you lose Sergey Solnyshkov, who's a multiple world champion. Kind of talk through a little bit, what were the challenges in kind of replacing Sergey in his role?
Тренер, мужики задают вопрос по поводу того, как мы заходим в новый сезон. Ну, то есть наш состав особо сильно не поменялся. В том году у нас была проблема с тем, что выпал Солнышков. Как мы старались его заменить в том году и какие усилия мы принимаем в этом году для того, чтобы такого не произошло?
Ну, в том году, как, наверное, все видели, мы старались на позиции Сереги пробовать всех наших ведущих игроков, да, пытаясь заткнуть дыру на фланге конвертов на протяжении там всего сезона. Мы пытались там заигрывать Джастина, Сашку, да, тебя, тем самым ослабляя там другие фланги, скажем так, да.
Yeah, such kind of a disaster that we have had with losing Sergey. The solution was there to use other players at his second position at the D side, with using players like Malloy, Justin, or even me at this position. But this way we were making other sides weaker, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
То есть мы пытались из имеющихся у нас игроков в отсутствии Сереги сделать плотную заднюю линию, да, при этом не потеряв, скажем так, атаку и достойную игру на флангах. Не очень у нас получилось в этом году, да. Следующий год предполагает быть лучшим, да. Почему? Потому что, вошел в строй опять Серега, чему мы очень рады, да, и плюс мы приобрели Холла, наверное, как все знают. Поэтому...
So the main trouble was about making the back line same active as the front lines. But we've had an issue with Sergey not there and trying to fight with his recovery about the injury. And when you're trying to do this, you're not having like an active front line that way, like a smart weapon active front line. And you're not having like a correct back line that can be very supportive and very in your face, the same way as Sergey has been always playing. But this year, coach, with all of the coaches squad that we've got, having high hopes on the situation with the back line, because like we are adding another player as Cody Hall into the back line. And if Sergey is the reactive attackive player, Corey is another style of the back guy that we probably need to be used together with another such kind of a style player that likes purple colors and all of that stuff. But Coach Alex is going to be talking a little bit later about that.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of brought it up, and that's kind of leads me into the next question. It's kind of been talked about between the commentators, podcasters, kind of around paintball. The Red Legion likes to run a thin roster, right? And I think what they mean by that is we don't really have a thin roster as much as we only play 5-6 guys. So, with the addition of Corey Hall and Sergey's return, is coach open to rotating more players in 2026? We're going to see more guys taking the field for Red Legion this year?
Вопрос от Райана, тренер, в том, что все знают то, что мы любим играть пятеркой, типа они это называют тонким составом. И основной вопрос при добавлении обратно Сергея и Кори, будем ли мы ротировать остальных ребят в рамках этого состава, будем ли мы его расширять?
Да, мы будем расширять состав в этом году, ну, с появлением Кори и возвращением Сереги. У нас получается 7 человек, и плюс мы ввели, скажем так, в основной состав на этот сезон 3 игроков, которые, скажем, уже не новые, они уже играли так или иначе, да, то есть это я говорю о Джема, о Эдди и о Дани. Таким образом, тренерский состав рассчитывает на 10 человек, которые могут ротироваться там в различных вариантах.
So talking about the high sports, you guys need to understand that you kind of supposed to rely upon the documents that you sign up in the off season. And 2 seasons before, in the team documents, we have had only few players that were supposed to be rotated into the main line. Yeah, talking about the thin squad. But finally, due to the educational process and experience process, this year, the additions to the main squad that's supposed to be rotated are not only Sergey and Corey, with whom we're supposed to have 7 people in rotation, but there is also 3 of our younger guys gonna be there in the professional line that must be rotated. And this is the must situation, not if coach decides that way, yeah, as it has been in the documents before. So those are Denny, everybody knows Kuzmin, it's Jamo Stanton, and it's Eddie Vasquez. So Eddie been with us for a long time, since 2023, to be honest, and he finally earned his spot in the starting line now. And Jamo is a natural talent from Tampa area. He is originally up from north, to be honest, but he joined us 2 years ago, and now he is that guy to have more playing time this season, not just because, but because he earned that, and because this is in the documents now.
Yeah, agreed. I think JMO has grown a ton since Eve and I got here. Gotten better and better. Eddie as well. And that's another point too. Like Danny really came in, filled in well in the times that he came in last season. Is Danny part of that rotation?
Danny, yes.
Yeah, Danny Kuzmin.
Yeah, as I said, Алексей Владимирович переспрашивает про Даню Кузьмина, будет ли он частью этой ротации.
Да, я же сказал, 7 игроков, плюс я планирую добавить Даню, Джема и Эдди. То есть это те люди, которые, скажем так, входят в основную десятку.
Yes, it's gonna be the main 10 people in rotation. Danny Kuzmin is the part of that, because like he's also traveling with us and playing with us since he started training with us in 2021, actually, and staying with the team and proving his desire with his time and attention and all of the economical questions that he has done to earn the first US visa that he earned back in those days. Well, yes, he is one of the rad guys now, like from the 6th generation, probably.
Yeah.
So with Eddie Vasquez and Jamo and Kuzmin and what have you, and the contracts and the new line and the new rotations, here's a question that I've always wanted to ask Alexey. What characteristics does the Legion look for in players? What are some of the non-negotiables you look for in a Red Legion player beyond the raw skill?
Со всеми, жесткими условиями нашего состава, какие критерии ты отслеживаешь в игроках, Алексей Владимирович, в первую очередь, за всеми там скиллами и так далее?
Наверное, в хорошем понимании спортивную злость. То есть люди в любой ситуации, при любых моментах, да, должны хотеть победить. при любых раскладах на поле, и как бы ни складывался счет.
Yeah, Coach Alex is looking for, and this is the part of the school, to be honest, the rat school. He's looking for sports fury people that goes into your face no matter what's going on, because they need to win. This is their desire, and that's how they're ready to track for that. This is their main factor that creates their personality in the field, especially.
So no quit. They're driven.
Yes, yeah, and actually a little bit from me. Well, Coach Alex said sports aggression, but aggression is a wrong word. It's a negative word. That's why I used word sports fury, because like this is a clear, pure emotion that drives you seriously and makes you not just swearing on people outside of the field, but forces you to go and play the best of your abilities out there.
Right. So they're not looking for pugilists.
Pretty much not.
Yeah,
Сейчас,
right.
Алексей Владимирович, говорили про разницу между спортивной агрессией и спортивной яростью, что агрессия – это негативный фактор, да, а ярость спортивная – это как раз-таки нормальный фактор, то, зачем ты как раз-таки следишь.
Да, и второй момент, те люди, которые не зацикливаются в случае поражения на своих ошибках, да, а думают о будущих поинтах и настроены на победу и не на исправление, зацикливание на своих ошибках, да, на движение вперед и на мыслях о будущем.
Yeah, and the last factor that actually makes a big difference in between the sports aggression and sports fury, because like the people who are aggressive enough, they're thinking too much about the previous mistakes. Yeah, and they talk a lot about what just has happened. But the real truth of the sports that a sportsman's supposed to forget, like in a good way, and go away from what just has happened and go into the future. Yeah, because like the games are there in the up points, and you can't change what's already happened. You can change only what's up ahead of you. So that's the only way how the sportsman can be healthy. And that's the way how the team becomes healthy, only due to such number of players that creates that mutiny, sports fury, and thinking about the next point and forgetting about the point before what has happened, and no focus on the negative stuff out there.
Athletic stoics.
We should talk about that later.
All right.
I think it's something. Maybe you guys, no offense about the Americans, you have like a little bit different understanding of that stoic feature, because like swearing in a pit zone area, that's very how to say that's very useful, right? Not useful, it's there. You guys see it every time you play, right? For us, it's not about stoicism, it's just about the stupidity of not using time correctly. So that's why it's not stoic, it's correct. Stoic is something else. Stoic is when you don't have a leg but you still going forward. That's stoic, to be honest. And not to swear and argue with your own players and your own people in a pit zone area. It's just ethics, it's not stoics, to be honest.
But see, that stoicism is ethics. But you're right. We can talk about that later. Now we're getting into the philosophy. And
I was going to say that's a conversation for a completely different show.
Yes.
You could be doing that for an hour.
We need plenty of these when we do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Could be doing that for an hour.
2 hours.
Yeah. So what adjectives would you use to describe the Red Legion culture as a whole?
Какой бы, Алексей Владимирович, ты использовал термин для того, чтобы описать нашу культуру Красного легиона?
Новаторская.
Coach Alex is using a pretty cool word. It's novator. Just give me a second. I'll translate that. I'm not sure if it exists.
Может быть, приносящий что-то новое в пинбол.
It's innovative story
Innovative.
of development. Yes, it's innovative because like Legion to be competitive to Americans back in the beginning of the 2000s had to be innovative and still since the same today, 26 years going, and we still have to be innovative to be able to fight against the natural talents that America breeds for those 30 years nonstop. Crazy, huh?
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
such a great word. I love it.
Great
So,
word.
yeah, culture of innovation. You maybe, and I love how you actually innovation makes more sense to me than adaptation. I think the Red Legion has been very innovative on that front from a metrics perspective, from a training perspective, all of it. I think you're leading the way on that. So a culture of innovation. Good job there. Which I think would let's ask this question now. Let's talk about that process. When one of your starters is underperforming, what's your process for addressing him?
Алексей Иванович, классный вопрос Майк задает. Культура инновации– это здорово. А вот в практическом поле, когда кто-нибудь из главной пятерки не тянет, какой у нас процесс выхода на него, чтобы его пощупать, поменять, не поменять, добиться от него понимания и так далее?
Ну, получается разбор ошибок, разговоры, убеждения, споры, да, если ничего из этого, скажем, не помогает, и мы заходим в тупик, да, мы можем на время поменять там стиль игры, да, дать ему отдохнуть, чтобы он пришел в себя. Если это не помогает, да, ну, только замены.
Yeah, so in the previous years, we had, and that's actually normal way to talk to the person and for in a good way force this person to play better through the communication because like we all are using the same logics of the game, and it's pretty easy to explain somebody that if he's supposed to play like here active in 30 seconds after this gonna happen, you can talk about that. It's pretty objective, right? But in case if this is not helping, usually Coach Alex might gonna change the whole game tactics of the next couple of points to help this person to get back into the game with his own style and rhythm that he is playing for some reason right now, right? And if this is not helping, usually that helps a lot, right? But if this is not helping, the only ways to change the person on somebody else from another position, which is bad when you play in a thin roster, as you guys are saying. That's why nowadays, coming into the 2026 season, we're gonna have like a bigger roster with skillful players to be able to play at any other position out there.
Ну и вообще от этого не застрахована любая команда, да, какие бы там ни были подготовленные игроки, да, может случиться все что угодно, да, и просто, ну, бывает, скажем так, не день игрока, да, вот не с той ноги он встал, не пошла у него игра, да, хотя он там супер подготовленный, ну, может быть, там что-то случилось, да, там не выспался. Ну, в любом случае к этому надо быть готовым, да, и не обращать особо на это внимание и не зацикливаться на этом, да.
Yeah, none of the teams is having an insurance that it's not going to happen to their top high whatever blink players out there, right? So that's why every group of people and especially the coaches teams supposed to track the state of the players throughout the competition, not only during the competition but going into the competition. I believe that you guys Mike with such a huge experience. So as Ryan, you guys can see right away who is in their optimal condition right now and who is not. You can see who is shivering right now and who is not shivering. You can see who is on the point and who is not on the point by different number of criterias and solution occasions and so on. Yeah, and usually like in theory and methodics of sports, yeah, coaches supposed to have like a quick keywords or some key mantras or key actives that they do with those players. And those guys are clicking back in. Yeah, this is a little bit of a magic out there, a little bit of a philosophy out there, but that happens every other time. And when you have like a long season with 5 competitions in different areas, so on and so forth, as Coach Alex is saying once again, no one is having the insurance. So the easiest insurance for the top American teams, just having a deep roster, just throw people in and something gonna happen. Yeah. But our philosophy from Red Legion, you have a specialist at your place. This specialist has been practicing for that amount of hours. Let's make this person play at his maximum ability now, not later, not tomorrow, not the day after tomorrow. That's why Coach Alex is talking to such kind of a people. That's why Coach Ryan is having his own features when he comes up and trying to help you and explain you in a different way what you were doing wrong. And that's the way how everybody helps players in making this thin roster living and productive in the past 2 years.
I've said this for years. Once you get your teammates past motivation and into discipline, that's the thing. That's the key, right? Discipline's doing it even when you don't want to do it. Motivation's doing it when you want to. So once you get to that, right? Or when you have to. So discipline's doing it even when you don't want to. So once you have that discipline, right? And you can even, we could even translate that word of discipline, right? Not just the discipline from the mentality perspective, but the discipline of the role, the discipline of that position. So once I've learned that discipline, then I should be able to execute on it consistently, right? Within this context. So yeah. I love that answer. That's fantastic. It actually answers the next question. I was going to talk about it from a perspective as a whole. So we've addressed this individual player. How are we doing it for as a whole? And I think you've already answered that. So well done.
Тренер, видишь, и получается, ты уже ответил на следующий вопрос, а вопрос у них был, что работает лучше, дисциплина или мотивация? И вот по Майку Бьянки дисциплина работает всегда, даже когда ты этого не хочешь, а мотивация работает только тогда, когда ты хочешь.
Верно, да.
I just got real nervous hearing my name in Russian, and they both start laughing.
No, Mike. I mean, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool definition in between the motivation and discipline. I actually love that because like Russian school has and I'm staying in a Russian school of paintball for a long time, and sometimes motivation is the thing that we're lacking because like when you look at Dynasty, at Ironman back in those days, when you look at Heat. Those guys, when they get it hyped, they're playing out of their minds, right? The only team that I haven't ever seen too much hype, maybe Impact. Yeah, like all the respect to all other teams, guys. I mean, we've been battling to everybody out there. Yeah, everybody's trying to get that motivation in them. Maybe Impact guys are not that well motivated and that American way hyping, right, to accelerate their game skills here in this exact match and playing for the finals, whatever, right? But yes, you made this definition pretty cool and pretty clear that if you don't want it, it's not gonna work. But discipline works. We would love our discipline to work more, especially during this season, because like for the past 2 seasons, our discipline was not performing that well by the end of the season.
Да, в любом случае, мотивация и дисциплина, да, одно без другого не сработает. Не то, что не сработает, а не работает. Нужно и то, да, ну, разумный баланс просто должен быть.
Well, Coach Alex is saying that one is not working without another one. The balance is one of the key features of every sports team that wants to be successful throughout not only one event, only half a year, but the full year and possibly some years after. So yeah, follow the balance.
I'm really glad he said that because I was going to say, like, I think Mike's definition is really good, but I believe you have to have both.
Right. Right. Oh, 100%. 100%. But I
Like if
think
you want to be playing,
once you reach the discipline, though, that's the hardest
yeah,
part. The motivation part's the easy.
totally. Yeah. But I think if you want to be playing deep into Sunday, you have to be both disciplined and highly motivated, right?
Right.
Like you've got to go into those later Sunday matches tired, a little bit beat up from training, you know, especially the way we train. Like the guys have to be motivated. They have to really want to win those and be in those tough situations, play at a really high level, give their best every time they go out onto the field. And you can't do that with just discipline. Like you have to have something else, you know, whether it's the spirituality of it or whatever it takes for you to be motivated to get out there and do it. I think you have to have both. So glad Alexey said that. Yeah. So kind of thinking about the culture stuff, you know, with the addition of Corey Hall, now Sergey's return, you know, how does Alexey feel like that will, you know, impact the culture for 2026? I know innovation was kind of the adjective used, but it seemed like kind of as the year went on, our culture as a group got better and better and better as the events went on. How does the addition of Corey Hall, the return of Sergey, how will that, what is coach's perspective on how that will impact our culture?
Какие у тебя, тренер, ощущения по поводу того, как вольются обратно, как вольется Серега обратно в нашу культуру турнирную, и как Кори Холл в эту во всю историю войдет? То есть Райан отмечает то, что у нас из года в год все лучше и лучше с точки зрения культуры и взаимодействия, но вот как возвращение Сереги и новый игрок целиком и полностью, это, повлияет,
понял,
не повлияет, поменяет, не поменяет.
Ну, по поводу Сереги, я думаю, что проблем никаких не должно возникать, да, то есть все его ждали, пока он лечился, да, все его ждут, придастся еще больше уверенности, да, тем игрокам, которые с ним уже играли, то есть по Сереге я проблем никаких не вижу, да, и я имею в виду в первую очередь для него самого, да, и для команды. Что касается Кори, пока мне сложно, наверное, ответить на этот вопрос. То есть я готов к тому, что для него будет много нового, да, к чему он должен приспособиться, перестроиться, да, и самое главное понять, что от него хотят, и влиться в коллектив.
So talking about Sergey getting back into our culture, it's not a big trouble because like everybody been communicating with Sergey, everybody been waiting for Sergey to recover from the injury. He's back into the process since January. Yeah. So everybody wants him back and he knows the kitchen inside of the team. So no troubles here for sure. Only boosts gonna be happening for sure. Emotional team boosts, all of that stuff. With Corey, the main factor would be for him to learn as quick as possible because like he's gonna be in a completely different culture to what he used to be at before, right? And this is going to be the main factor that will be holding him down from completely linking to the culture of the team, especially during the events. So yeah, Coach Alex is a little bit afraid of that, but everybody is a grown-up person. Justin is there, Jamo is there, Ivan is there, Johnson is there, all of the guys, Americans from different parts of US, and everybody could get linked into our process. So Corey is a high-level professional who will also be there sooner or later, for sure.
Yeah, great answer.
That is a great answer.
Yeah, kind of speaking of the guys kind of from all over the place. So there were, you know, a few new additions this year with Eli Roberts, Thomas Hara, and then Harrison Stanton. We've already kind of talked about the guys who were, you know, kind of at the top of the roster or bottom of the roster, however you want to say it. From last season, a few of those have already been discussed and rotating with the professional roster. So where are these other new guys going? So they're in the training program now, which I know is coming up. We're going to talk a little bit about the program, but where do these guys play?
Тренер, расскажи, пожалуйста, помимо тех ребят, которые у нас в профессиональном составе играют, да, и там около профессионального состава, у нас же есть еще новые добавления в виде Элая Робертса, в виде брата Джема и так далее. Расскажи, как они будут использоваться в рамках экосистемы команды.
Ну, на этот сезон по ним планируется, значит, следующая программа. То есть они во время командных сборов помогают основному составу готовиться к турниру, да, то есть мы их используем в качестве спарринг-партнеров. Плюс достигнуты там определенные договоренности, что они могут играть за Semi-Pro команду в Semi-Pro дивизионе, да, и на самом деле это лучше, чем сидеть на лавке, ждать своего шанса, да, то есть они так или иначе будут набираться турнирного опыта, будут расти, я надеюсь, что будут расти, да, а их рост это, скажем так, их шанс попадания в основной состав, да, то есть чем лучше ребята подготовятся, чем лучше сыграют за Semi-Pro команду, да, тем быстрее вольются в наш коллектив и станут достойной альтернативой, да, игрокам основной десятки.
So the main trouble that every other professional team is facing, especially nowadays, is the age of the main players that perform well, not only for 1 year or 2 years, but for decades. And to be able to change that and restart the franchises and all of that stuff, everybody must understand that they must work with the fresh players, with the new blood. We also having such kind of a new blood this season. Actually, we used to have like different names throughout the past 3 to 4 years when we managed to come up to Tampa. Yeah, they were like some very talented players in our ecosystem of the team. We like to use that word, right? But the main issue was that those guys had to sit on the bench when the main line has been playing, and to earn their spots to come and play more points during the tournaments was hard to reach. So that's why the ecosystem been upgraded with huge help of Thunder Valley owners, of Zuril brothers. Those guys who Ryan just named, they will be, first of all, they will be practicing with the team when the team is there in Tampa and preparing for the upcoming events. And then they will be traveling with the semi-professional team from the Thunder Valley to get the tournament's experience at the highest level possible. And this would be their goal to show themselves not on the words, but on the papers, as Mike likes to say. Yeah. So they say, hey guys, we are doing well. We're growing. Yeah. Here's our best place from the past tournaments, and coaches will be tracking that and using that in their plans for the upcoming events. Yeah. If Eli Roberts gonna show his A game, and this kid is great to be able to show that in the correct ecosystem that no doubt we're having right now, that would be a great addition. Because like my part right now, right, I'm like 40 years old. I mean, I love the sports, I love everything, but it's time to change the role for sure, right? And my main factor that keeps me motivated playing, show me who can be at my place. And I know already some players that I would love to give my place to them with the best experience that I've got. Yeah. But for that, we must be in the same ecosystem for some time together.
I
Love that.
I love it. Come and take it. Show me you can do it better than me, and then I'll gladly hand over the reins. So it's perfect. I I want to take us off a little bit, and we'll come back along that line of thinking, because I really want to talk about the training process. And we've got a question in here I want to get to specifically regarding the physicality. But I wanted to throw kind of an odd question in here because I wanted to see how you respond. What's something people outside of the Legion's program misunderstand about what it takes to win at the pro level? Right? The Red Legion obviously has a formula that they believe this is what it takes to win at the pro level. What do you think others outside of the Red Legion don't get?
Тренер, как ты думаешь, что люди, которые вне легиона, думают по поводу того, как побеждать? Ну, то есть, другими словами, вот у нас есть своя формула, да, а народ со стороны приходит и думает, ну, сейчас мы вот как бы победим вместе с легионом, там будем сидеть на лавке или не будем сидеть на лавке. Ну, как вот люди, что они не так думают по поводу нашей системы победы? Как ты думаешь?
Мне кажется, они, наверное, недооценивают вообще серьезность всей ситуации, да, то есть они думают, что это все так легко, то есть попасть в про-команду, сидеть на лавке и при этом выиграть, ну, все должны быть настроены тяжело и много трудиться.
So the main thing, what other people from a side could underestimate the ethics is that it's not enough just to join the team or get the invitation from the team, sit on a bench and start growing. They have to grind and work at least as much as all other players been working back in those days. My own experience was that I saw with my own eyes that you have like a talented player, like a fantastic player with a great motivation, with great everything. But this kid wants to be in a starting line. Second year, he's in the ecosystem, like second year right away. Let's go. I'm ready for that. You're not ready for that. I spent like 4 years sitting on the bench and training to be able to earn my spot playing alongside with Coach Alex.
И вторая вещь, ну, наверное, не опускать руки, да, набраться терпения и ждать своего, скажем так, шанса, часа, да, если он возникает, воспользоваться им там на 150% и доказать команде, что да, я готов.
And second moment is not to put your hands down, because like you can sit the first year, you can sit the second year, and on the third year, like that's it. It's already too much. It's too much for me, right? But this is the tricky moment because the amount usually goes into the quality. So that's why the time you spend will give you the chance to show who you are. Because like, once again, how Alexander Bernikov managed to get his spots in a team. One of the elder players just couldn't perform, and team said, okay, Sasha, go and show us something. Sasha went and showed his game. The same happened to Sergey. The same happened to me. It's not just because coaches back from those days were like, okay, you are nice kids, please go and show us something, otherwise you're gonna leave us. No, they were, okay, this guy's broken, you go and show, and if you're ready, you're gonna show this game and earn your spot. You're gonna prove to the team and to yourself that you're good enough for this position. If this is not happening, sorry, this is sports. You need to spend a little bit more time on that. That's it.
You're here.
Yeah, so glad you addressed it and addressed it in the way that you did. I was just having a conversation at the BKI Combine with a pro player, and we were talking about the training and development program. And some of the kids that I was looking at in the off season, and he just made the comment or asked the question to me. He said, "Do you really think it works?" And I said, "Yes. Of course it works. Kirill is a perfect example. Sasha is a perfect example. Pasha is a perfect example. Like, yes, I believe that it works." I said, what has happened now speaking of the word echo, is we're now in this weird echo chamber where people only remember things from the last 3 years.
Right.
They don't remember things that happened 10 years ago. I said, so the problem we have now is we get 3, 4, 5 years away from a success story and everyone forgets.
Right.
They forget. Right. So, and Kirill, you said it very well, both you and Alexey. Young players want it now, right? They want to join a pro team and begin to play immediately without understanding there's a long process that has to take place in order for you to be able to perform at a high level on the pro field. And again, it would be one thing if we were talking about a team in the bottom 3, 4 of the league. We're not. We're talking about one of the best, most professional organizations in the world. It takes time for you to develop into that role. It doesn't happen fast, right? But again, you're a perfect example of, yes, it works. So with that transition into the training program, Mike, you want to start talking about that?
Well, sure. I want to just dive right in. Again, I want to get these guys to sleep, but at the same time, walk us through the training process. What does, and I can't wait to hear Alexey's answer on this. And Kirill, I'd like your opinion on this as well, too, because it may not be the same answer. Walk us through what an ideal practice looks like for Red Legion when preparing for an event. What's an ideal practice look like? And how long is it?
Да, тренер, раскрой небольшой секрет для Майка, как выглядит наш идеальный тренировочный процесс перед турниром.
На мой взгляд, идеальных тренировок не бывает, да, то есть, может быть, они и бывают, но их не видно, то есть, ты понимаешь, что они были идеальными только после того, как отыграл турнир.
Подожди. So the first replica from Coach Alex is pretty cool, that there are no ideal practices. And you're gonna know that this practice was ideal only after the event.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't know until the test.
That's right. Because we win the event at practice.
Yeah.
По сути, получается, что тренировка может казаться совсем не идеальной, да, можно там на спаррингах, предтурнирах проигрывать всем подряд, набрать кучу ошибок, да, но потом с ними разобраться и выиграть турнир. А можно наоборот всех обыгрывать там левой рукой, да, при этом расслабиться, ничего не приобрести и на турнире все слить. Поэтому
because there could be two ways of the practice that might gonna happen before the events. You overplaying everybody else over there, easy, yeah, and you're not learning, and you're going into the competition and you're getting smashed, right? And there is another option which is not ideal from the perspective and picture of you in this process. You get annihilated at the practice, like those guys doing whatever they want with you. You feel that nothing works. You feel that nothing gonna work, right? And it's a horrible feeling. Coaches been through that. I've been through that. You, Mike, for sure been through that a couple of times. And then all of a sudden, it comes to be the ideal practice. And do you need to create these situations? No, it's not upon you. So, but what you supposed to create? Так что же нужно создавать тогда, Алексей Владимирович, если как бы это от нас не зависит, ни один, ни другой исход?
Ну, наверное, атмосферу, да, то есть каждый от тренировки должен получить даже не положительные эмоции, а, наверное, удовлетворение своей работой, да, пусть даже ошибками, но после тренировки человек, каждый из членов команды должен понимать, что там этот тренировочный день, он не прошел зря, да, и каждый там для себя вынес что-то полезное, там что-то получилось, что-то не получилось, но он это понял, да, и потом в дальнейшем исправил. Вот, наверное, идеальная тренировка такая. Та тренировка, которая не прошла зря, да, там.
So the main factor that everybody's supposed to focus at during the practice, starting from a coach going to the bench players, they must be satisfied with the work that they have done at their position. Because this way you can only guarantee with this atmosphere that everybody is on the same page of working and learning, not just beating those guys at the practice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I love it. I love it. No ideal practice. And you must be satisfied with how you performed. And
At your position. Yeah.
I love it. Love it. I wrote all that down. And added a couple more things. I love
Майк конспектирует?
Да. Mike is making notes. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I am.
I hope lots of people are making notes.
I do too.
Yeah. I love the mentality of there is no perfect practice.
I do too. That's that just really opened my mind. Because I used to sit there and I would put so much pressure on myself. Like, did I succeed in what I was trying to do? Right. It was my fault if we didn't have a good practice. Right. I just put all that on. And I love this. I love this now. It's a shared responsibility. So
totally, it's a team.
Yes, Ryan, it is a team. Да, видишь, Алексей Ильич, мужики рефлексируют на тему того, что, типа, ну, действительно, нифига себе, нет идеальной тренировки.
Я не слышу.
Yeah, Kirill went away.
Кирилл, тебя не слышно было.
I heard every word he said. Oh, wait, no, I don't hear him now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He died on us. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm. Yeah, if you can hear us down at the bottom of the screen, there's a microphone icon. You can't hear us either.
Hear us.
Yeah, because he took his AirPods out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hopefully you can get that fixed pretty quickly.
Yeah, because I have 3 or 4 more questions I want to get out there.
Yeah. I have one more about Sergey too I'd like to ask.
You know, I thought that too, Shane Rucker.
Кирилл, слышишь меня, да?
No reaction from Russians too.
Тебя не слышно, тебя не слышно. Микрофон включи, у тебя микрофон отключен.
You do? Now?
Oh, yeah.
Hey!
Чё ты прервался, мужики рефлексируют по поводу того, что нет
идеальной тренировки, то, что все на плечах тренера, а остальные как бы бог с ним, да, но это не так, не все только на тренере лежит, и это командная обязанность. Как бы.
Ну да, как я и сказал, что каждый из команды должны для себя вынести с тренировки что-то полезное, получить удовлетворение.
Так точно. Yes. Coach Alex just replied to what I said, what you guys are trying to reflect on, right? So, yes, satisfaction at your position. And up to me, sometimes you think that you were playing great, but you're also supposed to talk to other players and coaches and find out the reality. If the reality from 2 other sources saying, yes, you have been doing your job well, unless it was not successful now or the day before, but no, you're doing the correct job, keep doing this. That's the best feeling that you can get off the training process before the competition.
Go ahead, Mike. Stop taking notes.
I'm sorry.
Get these guys to bed.
I got you. Well, I mean, okay, let's boil it down a little bit more simpler, right? I'm sure there's some people out there who are listening right now. How much emphasis do you put on the fundamentals versus layout specifics, or do you merge the two a lot?
Are you talking about the pre-tournament practice?
Yes,
or
the pre-tournament practice.
Тренер, люди спрашивают, сколько времени мы на предтурнирной практике тратим на базовую технику и на layout, ну, то есть на тренировку непосредственно площадки, как на ней играть.
Ну, так как большую часть времени в Москве мы проводим как раз в индивидуальных тренировках, да, и не в большом количестве спаррингов, соответственно, на предтурнирной практике мы стараемся больше как раз поиграть, да, и больше получить именно игрового опыта. А все, что касается индивидуальных вещей, да, мы их стараемся там доработать в то свободное время, которое остается. И то
So,
доработать. Да, говори.
so if you think about the paintball as about the big sports, you'll know about the big processes of preparation and small processes of preparation, those cycles. Yeah, they are everywhere in every other sports, right? So since we are in a big training routine, in a big training cycle, every month is broken into the topics and all of that stuff. And before the season starts, all our teammates and team parts are practicing the individual skills. Doesn't matter in US or in Russia. And then when we come to a microcycle of preparation before the competition, before the events, of course, we spend more time on layout practice, on those key elements that goes into the logics of the field and gonna help us to find answers on the games of all other teams out there. Yeah. So the question is this, and only when we have like some free time, like on Tuesday or Wednesday after the weekends, the layout weekends, we might gonna spend some time on individual practices when we see that some certain positions or players need to get more repetitions for the muscle for the more clear muscle memory, or they're just making mistakes and those mistakes supposed to be erased. Yeah, that's when you definitely can have some time for that. The main factor that everybody must understand, yes, you can spend like 10 hours at the field every other day, but there will be no result out of that, unfortunately, because like your neural system will be overwhelmed with information, and in the end there will be no but clear and pure skill out of that. Yeah,
Retention. Yeah, you're not
yes.
retaining it because you've gotten so exhausted you forgot what you learned in the first 2 hours.
And it's not even like forgetting like with your brain, it's your neural system. It will just erase everything else. All what you will know is what was in your muscle memory before. You're not gonna upgrade it anyhow with like just a crazy amount of hours spending at the field and spending at the field and spending at the field. You must break it down.
Mm-hmm.
Ну и второй момент, ну это, наверное, больше касается меня, да, как тренера. То есть я не люблю очень, когда растягиваются какие-то игровые спарринги, да, то есть я люблю, скажем так, запланированное количество там поинтов отыграть, да, отработать то, что хотели, да, и не растягивать это на весь день, потому что прекрасно понимаю, что людям тоже надо восстанавливаться, да, и проводя на поле там, в разговорах о чем-то личном весь день, да, ничего хорошего не принесет, поэтому лучше сосредоточиться там на основных задачах и закрыть их в первой половине дня, да, чтобы потом вторая половина дня осталась на разбор ошибок и на отдых.
So, Coach Alex, without perfect knowledge of English language, making an addition to what to my replica that I just told to you guys, that he, as a head coach, also hates when practice is going for the whole day, because like there's no sense in that. Because he, as a main coach, also must understand, and every other coach must understand, that your players supposed to recover. And the way how they recover today, the way they're going to be playing tomorrow. So just don't forget about those things.
Ну и чтобы это не прозвучало тоже так, как формальность, да, естественно, за этот игровой день, за игровое время должны закрываться там те задачи, которые были поставлены на эту тренировку. То есть, чтобы все не подумали, что вот Легион играет там 30 поинтов отыграл, и что бы там не случилось, они больше 30 не играют. Можно отыграть больше, можно отыграть меньше, но главное, чтобы была выполнена задача, которая была поставлена на этот игровой день.
And the main goal to reach while you practicing and spending time is to reach your tactical and strategical goal of the day. And that's the job of the coach, to make those clear and make a clear path to reach those things. Yeah, there must be 35 points a day, there could be 20 points a day, but coach can see how good is his team about reaching those goals. Yeah. And it's not about just, hey, let's do it quick today. No, it's not like that. It's about, okay, that's what we need to learn. Let's go. 10 points behind. Who's good with that? Who's not good with that? 5 more points. Okay, we are pretty close to learn. Point number 20. No, we have to go another 5 points, and that's it. Yeah, something like that. That Coach Ryan. Noticing that for the whole last year, and for sure he will not give a chance for Coach Alexey Soloviev over here about that.
Кстати, Райан постоянно прибавляет количество поинтов, у нас с ним статистика не сходится, он пытается, чтобы мы сыграли все больше и больше.
And Ryan is actually that person that likes to add some more points to these.
You get narked out, my friend.
Maybe. It's usually the second group. I'm like, let's let those guys get some more spins. Let's let those guys go. And then the guys, the main group guys are like, we're tired.
Да, по поводу ребят, кто на лавке. That's valuable, Ryan. That's also true. Yeah. That's good for them.
I love it.
But when I first got here, that's one of the, and I'd even seen it as a coach. Of course, we'd practice you guys on other teams that I had, coached in the past. It seemed like there was like a game limit, a point limit or a case limit or whatever the case may be. And what I found after I got here is that it wasn't really about the number of points played as much as it was about the quality of each point, the information and the sharing that was occurring in between those points. And then what were those objectives that were trying to be completed for the day? And did we meet them? Did we not? Did we help that player who was struggling yesterday to get where they needed to be today? Those kind of things. When I started to understand that better, all of it made more sense to me. And I've said this multiple times, even on this show, that it's the right way to train. It's correct. The going out and playing 8-9 hours of paintball in 2 days is not the correct way to prepare for an event. It's not productive. It's not meaningful. It works for some people, but I don't think you can be successful long-term training that way.
You can't overcompensate something that you haven't been practicing a week before during the weekend. It's just
totally
just obvious about that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Mike, why don't you ask the question about the training program, and then let's let these guys get off. Get back.
I feel like they've actually answered in a way the other 2 questions anyway. So I can't wait to see them in Tampa and to follow this up. But how did the training process you now have, how did it come into existence, and how has it evolved over the years? Like how did it start? When did the Legion first go, you know what, we should start training this way? And then as things started to evolve and develop, right? How did all that come into existence?
Тренер Майк спрашивает тебя, каким образом у нас появился наш тренировочный процесс давным-давно, и как он сэволюционировал на протяжении всего этого времени.
Появился как? То есть сначала мы ничего не умели, потом мы, по-моему, первый раз ездили в Европу, по-моему, это была Тулуза, посмотрели, как это все на самом деле происходит, да, и начали пытаться повторять те или иные вещи, которые мы увидели, да, потом нашли Петра Саныча Васильева, то есть это наш первый тренер по индивидуальной подготовке, который там, имея за плечами некоторый опыт подготовки спортсменов в биатлоне, да, он стал привносить какие-то технические вещи, да, вел культуру статистики в нашей команде. Ну, вот таким образом мы стали работать.
I will help Coach Alex to give this information a little bit more bright, right? So there were a couple of stages of getting the correct training routine. Everything started when the team went to Toulouse, France, to see how the international teams are playing. Back in, это когда было, Алексей Иванович, в 98 году, в 97-м?
В 98-м.
It's been in 1998, the first time when Legion went to play international. Guys,
извините, я перебью, это был тот турнир, когда мы, не помню, в каком дивизионе мы играли, это вообще, по-моему, был открытый какой-то дивизион, но так получилось, что по количеству набранных нами очков мы отцепили Joy Division от Pro дивизиона, и вместо них там долго решали, пройдет ли Joy Division, пусть играет, да, там на своем месте, либо мы сыграем с более сильными соперниками, да, на что Joy Division очень обиделся, да, потому что мы заняли их место. Но это нас взбодрило, мотивировало, да, на дальнейшие тренировки, на дальнейший рост, потому что, ну, ничего себе, приехали люди на первый турнир, да, и достигли так или иначе вот таких успехов.
So team back in 1998 came for the first time to the international events, and throughout the preliminary rounds managed to get so many points that they had a chance to replace Joy Divisions into the professional playoffs, right? So let's call it like playoffs on Sunday, right? And Joy Division guys were upset, but for the Legion guys, it's been a great motivator, telling them that they are the correct way. But then coming back from Europe, everybody realized that something is going not completely right because guys saw some different techniques out there. They decided to implement this into the training process. And guys started to practice like 2 days a week, pretty much so. And they also find like their first coach, Pyotr Alexandrovich Vasiliev. This guy used to be from biathlon, right? And he actually brought to the team the culture of statistics that showed everyone that if you're not tracking those, you can't control the situation and you don't know if your team is growing, not growing. You're always going into the arguments with the players, so on and so forth, right? Then was the second stage of that preparation. Тренер, расскажи про второй этап становления тренировочного процесса, когда в Америку съездили.
Ну, когда в Америку съездили, то есть мы до Америки мы тренировались очень похоже, как, наверное, тренируется большинство ребят как раз в Америке, да, то есть мы, естественно, работали все, да, и проводили там за пейнтболом только свои свободное время, то есть выходные дни, и тренировки у нас вот как раз проходили вся суббота и вся воскресенье, да, в остальные дни мы тренировались, мы работали. Но после того, как мы съездили в Америку, получили опыт игры в десятках и там в пятерках, по-моему, или в семерках, уже не помню, что было, да, мы поняли, что этого времени уделять недостаточно, да, и таким образом мы плавно стали переходить к постоянным тренировкам, да, которые там варьировались от 4 до 5 в неделю, не считая игровых, да, ну 4-5 в неделю, это имеется в виду с физической подготовкой, чему все удивлялись, да, как такое количество времени можно тренироваться, что на этих тренировках вы делаете, да, и для чего вы делаете. Но, тем не менее, это нам позволило, да, после вот 2000 года, нам позволило вырасти, ну, первое поколение, да, первое, наверное, и второе поколение команды, да, вот, благодаря такому тренировочному процессу, благодаря объему, мы стали тем, кем мы стали, да, мы долго к этому шли, но это принесло свои плоды и результаты.
Well, the second big stage, till 2001, the team has been practicing the same way as all Americans been playing and training. Guys were working during the weekdays, and they were spending the whole weekend at the field, trying different elements and playing the team game. But then was the second big opening, going to US to play the World Cup 2001, playing 10 man and 5 man and getting smashed by Americans. Yeah, nothing been working. Americans been running around shooting their guns while we were going without firing, on the move, getting stationary on 2 knees and trying to gunfight against those guys. It's been impossible. It's been like a huge cold shower for the whole culture and for the whole system. Coming back from US, everybody realized that just practicing, just the weekends, just playing the games is not enough. Stats great, but stats showing clearly that something else is supposed to happen, right? And that's how team managed to add some more training into the every week routine. So this way, team starts practicing 4 times a week, 2 times a week, Saturday, Sunday, playing games, and on a week, some fitness, conditional trainings. Yeah, maybe some technical skills on the field when the fields were open, so on and so forth. But it still was not enough because then was the experience of Europe and some 7-man events 2002, also not very successful. Then was the Cup 2003 when we managed to go into the Sundays, but also it was not that successful because like Naughty Dogs, New York Extreme, Dynasty, all of those guys were playing still on a completely different level. Давай, тренер, и теперь третий этап.
Я сейчас просто еще добавлю, чтобы больше для ребят, для понимания. Плюс у нас был достаточно большой пул тренеров, который каждый тренер занимался своим направлением, да, на тренировках. То есть у нас был тренер по командной подготовке, у нас был тренер по разбежке, у нас был тренер по индивидуальной технике, у нас был тренер по фитнесу, да, то есть таким образом, разделив вот игру на все составляющие, каждый тренер занимался своим направлением, да, которые потом объединялись в общую картину, да, в общую схему игры. Соответственно, проводились тренерские советы, да, разбирались ошибки, подводилась статистика, строились планы на будущее, да, таким образом выстраивалась система тренировок.
And in between 2001 and 2004, the team owner decided to get into the contact. No, excuse me, guys. И всю эту историю ведь же Завьялов привнес, правильно, из баскетбольной среды, когда к нему обратились, что вот так правильно разделять всю историю.
Ну, к Завьялову мы обратились не совсем по этому поводу, то есть к Завьялову обратились, там начали появляться травмы, да, он нам сначала помогал с травмами, но потом как бы он втянулся тоже в нашу тему, да, и вот опираясь на свой опыт, там, да, большой врачебный и тренировочный, спортивный, да, он тоже, ну, многие вещи добавил в наш тренировочный процесс, да, и как бы мы стали заниматься по его программам, да, ну, действительно профессиональным программам.
So in between 2001 and 2003, the team owner decided to contact to a doctor and a fitness coach from the big sports, from basketball. His name is Igor Alexandrovich Zavyalov. This guy is still around. We actually today are going to go to this guy again because he's going to make tests, the current tests of the state of every other player and create like a training programs for them. But back in 2003, he was making sure the team is not getting injuries.
And with his experience, he managed to explain that in a big sports, the job of the team practice and team development is not only in hands of one person. He saw the coaches and the personnel back in those days and provided us a clear picture that there must be the head coach, the head manager, the fitness coach, the tactical coach, the breakout coach, and all other coaches that's supposed to lead the players into their directions. And that's how you kind of start making sure that the whole week is busy, because like every other day, every other coach is having his hands on you and making sure that you're getting better and better in this technical element or the team element. And that's how everything starts working together. And team managed to make like a huge boost training process in between 2003 and 2004, especially during the winter season, because finally there was a dome around where we could grind and not just lose in the winter time. And in 2004, EXL, European X-Ball League, we came to be a quite different team, could compete against the best American squads. И, Алексей Ильич, а что потом произошло после 2004 года, когда мы полностью схватили эту тренировочную систему и пошли далее?
Ну, а потом просто она заработала на полную силу, да, то есть, ну, я к тому, что накапливая на тренировках определенный опыт там по разным направлениям, да, вот это все ну, закономерно привело к 2006 году, да, к тому результату, который мы показали. Потому что со стороны игроков, что со стороны тренеров, мы же этим никогда не занимались. То есть мы на протяжении всего этого времени и те, и другие учились, да, там нащупывали какие-то моменты, да, то есть это, ну, скажем так, нам не на что было опереться, да, то есть не было никакого, скажем так, положительного примера, да, и вот там методом тыка, так сказать, я не знаю, как это по-английски ты переведешь, да, но мы пришли к тому, что вот к 2006 году эта система наконец дала свои плоды, показала, что да, мы делали правильные вещи.
So having a correct system by 2004, the team still was not sure if this is the correct system or not the correct system, because there is a matter of time when you finally realize what's really important in your sphere. So let's say that the coach from basketball came over to paintball and told us, hey guys, you're supposed to break down everything that way, go practice, track this, this, and this. But he was a specialist about special fitness condition in basketball. He was also specialist about technical basketball stuff. Yeah, but we're paintballers. It's different, right? Yeah. So in between 2004 and 2006, there was a period when coaches were getting the correct experience and been making and cooking the paintball specific things. Yeah, because like you can't just implement basketball stuff into paintball and be happy about that. Yeah. And by exploring those things, by combining those things, by mutating those things, yeah, team and the club managed to come to 2006 to the first World Cup picked up, and that was the first success story, like a really huge success story when all of the coaches squad and players realized, hey, this is the way. And since that, all other stages came out to the story, and we probably can talk about this later in a different podcast about that period, because like it's been a roller coaster since that little bit.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I was there in 2006. I witnessed the change. I was coaching the Naughty Dogs at the World Cup in 2006.
Yeah.
And you guys beat the brakes off of us. In the finals. It was not nasty.
I love it. I love it. Fantastic. We could do this for hours. We could do this for hours.
Yeah, so kind of the last question. What should an aspiring player focus on right now that they usually ignore?
Something they miss.
Тренер, скажи, пожалуйста, что по твоему опыту сейчас игроки могут упускать, ну вот в высшей подготовке к профессиональному и полупрофессиональному дивизиону в NXL?
It's a tough one, I know.
I know. I want him to say running and gunning.
Наверное,
I want him to say running and gunning.
наверное, степень своей ответственности. То есть имеется в виду, что, ну, я опять повторюсь, да, то есть если они решили, я имею в виду игроки, чем-то заняться, да, то есть если они считают, что это профессиональный уровень, да, то они должны понимать весь уровень там своей ответственности. Если для них это там всего лишь хобби, да, и приехать поиграть на выходные, это другие игроки, да, то есть в первую очередь люди должны определиться, какие они перед собой поставили цели, да, и что, чем они для этих целей готовы пожертвовать, вот так. И вот многие, наверное, этого не понимают, да, и считают, что фактически, занимаясь хобби, да, они пытаются достичь там каких-то заоблачных результатов, да, ну, так не работает.
So what players could miss nowadays about getting promoted into the professional league or semi-professional league, doesn't matter what. Everybody getting used to play paintball as a hobby. But when you go in higher, it's not a hobby. And with the same ethics and with the same working routine, with the same playing routine as a hobby, you will not be successful there, because their level of your responsibility is way higher and it's different. So if you want to perform there, it's not just coming and having fun. Yes, you're going to be having fun, but you will be taking the responsibility on you, because like others will be looking at you and asking you, hey, are you good enough today? Are you going to be better today? Will you do the best of you to be in the same focus, in the same state of mind, in the same fitness condition, in the same technical condition tomorrow and the day after tomorrow? Because like we need you. If you're not there, nobody needs you.
Fire. I had a very similar conversation this weekend that said, hey, semi-pro was great, but if you think the same work ethic that helped you succeed in semi-pro is going to help you succeed in pro, you're wrong. It gets harder from here. We have to start putting in a whole lot more work. So thank you, Alexey, for saying that. That's right. It's not a hobby. If you want to play professional paintball, then you have to act professionally. You have to put in the work. You have to grind. You have to act like a responsible employee of the team. So I love it. I love it. I wrote love it right there. I said love it.
Тренер Майк говорит, прям записал все это, говорит, правильно.
Outstanding. Oh, man. Gotta have drinks.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Mike and I'll stick around for a little bit and kind of close things out, but we'll let you guys get back to bed.
Thank you so much, guys. It's been much pleasure and respect to be with you over here, because like I haven't seen you guys since last year, only in some videos with Mike and his personal stuff that he was sharing with the audience. Yeah. We've been talking to Ryan through the messengers a little bit, but I'm super happy to start season that way with you guys. Тренер, скажи какое-нибудь слово тоже.
Ребятам большое спасибо за приглашение, за возможность поучаствовать в шоу. Майка, с днем рождения. У Райана отличные усы.
Thank you for letting Coach Alex to be in a show, because for Coach Alex, it's kind of the first show. Can you imagine that?
No, like
it broke our minds, but
if he's willing to get up at 4 a.m., we'll have him on a lot more.
Right.
See,
Yeah.
it's the same insane story as insane Ryan's mustache. Coach Alex is saying that it's like out of style. Ryan.
Oh, so
Yeah.
by the time he sees me again in March, I will have a full beard back.
Professional.
Maybe not. Nobody knows. Yeah, nobody
Love
knows. And Mike, happy birthday from Coach Alex once again to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye, guys, and thank you for the
Thank
opportunity.
you, guys.
See you,
Take
boys.
care.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good night. We'll see you soon.
See you.
Oh man, you get to hang out with those guys on the reg.
Yeah.
Not cool. Not cool.
Yeah,
Not fair,
it's
really not fair is what I really mean to say.
what's challenging too, like I think most people beat in for Alexey because he speaks good English. Like it's not terrible, right?
Right.
He certainly speaks good English, and he's brilliant. I mean, watching kind of how the process comes together, you know, when we begin that training process, once the layout comes out and the things he's looking for, and you know, kind of the different ways he motivates the players and moves things around, like it's incredibly thoughtful process, right? As you can tell by the way they talk about it. I mean, there's nothing happening that's haphazard, right? Everything has gone through detailed analysis, testing. The way that they have created and curated their training methodology, I mean, it's next to nothing, right? Like there's nothing else like it. Again, just from the intelligence that's been put into it and the amount of testing they do, you know, they were kind of talking about, and I'm seeing a lot of guys in the chat talking about biometrics. I mean, we legitimately have modules that the guys train, you know, 4 to 5 times a week based on what their scores are, right? And anywhere from like sprint metrics to high jumps and, you know, box jumps and things to help to strengthen those sprinting muscles and those kind of things. And it's an impressive process, right? And again, you know, I'll go back to that conversation I had with you know, Ryan Greenspan. We were talking about the training and does it work, does it not work? I mean, the reality is it does, but the majority of the people in the United States, again, they want that
Instant
status, right? Like it's about having that pro status. Like I've talked to three different players this offseason that I kind of had chats with about potentially coming to play with us. 2 of them I just backed out and was like, no, you know, kind of no thanks, right? Because they really just want to have a pro tag, right? They want to have that on the end of their APPA instead of like legitimately being able to play on a professional team and put in meaningful minutes and meaningful opportunities. They just want to have the pro tag. Right. And that's, I even had a young man at the combine. I had a couple, but one in particular asked me, you know, how do I get into the pro league was his question. And I just said, hey, are you, you know, what division are you in now? And he said, well, I play Division 4. Right. And I was like, okay, well, first of all, stop trying to speed up the process. Right. Are you the best? Yeah. Are you the best player on your team? And he was like, well, I think so. And I said, okay, that should be undeniable. Are you the best player at your field? And he said, well, I don't know. And I said, again, that should be undeniable. If you want to be in the professional ranks, you have to be the best player on your team at your field. If you're not at the pro ranks yet, and honestly, if you're the best player on your team at D4, then play D3. If you're the best player in your, then maybe it's time for you to play Division 2. But again, don't try to rush it. Don't rush the process so that when you get there, you're so far behind that then it will legitimately take you 4 to 5 years. Like the story Kirill is talking about, you know, Kirill was, he was a very young player, right? Low divisional rank, right? This was kind of before there were divisions, but low divisional ranked in today's standards, and was in this training process for 3 to 4 seasons before he ever got an opportunity to play, right? So if you think about a D4 player who's playing let's just say every other weekend, Kirill was playing 3 times, 4 times a week, and then 2 times a week on the weekend. You see what I mean? 5 to 6 training days a week. And he still took him 4 years, right? So if you take that and extrapolate that same amount of time over a couple of weekends, a couple of months, you're talking 10 to 12 years, right? Like it's going to take you a long time to kind of get to the place you need to be. So don't try to rush the process. You need to sit in it. You need to do all the things that were talked about tonight, the discipline and, you know, focusing on the physicality of it. Somebody asked in the question or in the chat, somebody asked the question, you know, how do you guys train where you can have your guys play where you can play 5 guys the whole tournament?
Mhm.
And the answer to that question is we literally train for it. Like
Right.
we run there's a big hill at Tiki's. We literally run that once a week. We do a sprint test once a week. We do jump training once a week. Like every day there is something in it to help to build and develop those sprint muscles. And then like part of that sprint test is they have to do it 3 times. And you can't fall off by more than 10% each time. So you run a 300-meter shuttle run. So it's 75 feet. Sorry, it's more than 300 meters, but you run 75 feet 12 times. So you go up and back, and that's 2, right? You do it 12 times. You need to do it in less than a minute. Then they get 3 minutes of rest, and they have to run it again. And they can't fall off by more than 10%. So if you run a 60, you can't run a 106. It's got to be less. And then if you wait 3 minutes and you run it again, and you can't fall off by more than 10% again. And what
you
that
can't
test
have
tells
more than a 54 seconds.
right.
So,
they really want you to be
yeah.
around 54 to 57 seconds is really where we want you to be. And what that tells us, if you fall off big each time, is you can't play back to back to back to back points. Your cognitive ability is going to fall off because your body is going to need all the blood in your body. So your brain is not going to be able to do what we need you to do at the level in which we need you to do it at, right? So there's all these different, you know, biometric metrics and KPIs we use to determine whether or not a player is ready to do those things. So, I mean, again, we could have an entire show, and we did. Kirill's been on here before. If you guys go back, and I think it was in maybe our first 10 to 20 episodes, we had Kirill on kind of talking about Red Wave. And you go check that because he talks about the training methodology a lot, and it's a clear picture on why the guys can perform at the level they can. And then you also have guys like Pasha, Pavel Karslev, who are just genetically different. He is a machine.
Right.
I can pretty well work the guys at the gym with the exception of Pavel. I haven't worked out with Sergey yet, but Pavel, he is a monster. He's a monster. So I'm excited that Sergey's coming back for multiple reasons. One of those is like his energy. I believe that Sergey has more or as many world championships as any other player in the league. Did you know that? Yeah, I think Sergey Solnyshkov has as many or more than any other player in the league world championships. I need to look it up, but I think he's got 9. 9 world championships.
Let's have that ready for the next show. Let's find out.
I'm excited to have him back. The culture in the room changes because of his energy. Like he's a pretty quiet guy, but he's very intelligent. He works really hard. It's I'm excited to have him back. I think he will add an element that we certainly missed last year.
I think so. I think it's hard not to acknowledge that. So definitely a threat. So it's gonna be great, man. What a great show. We've, and everyone's like, hey, bring them back more often. Of course we'd love to do that. But we're also not 3:30 in the morning, asking them to get up during a weekday. So, we're heading into Monday evening and they're starting Tuesday day. So hang in there, guys.
Right.
I agree. I think there was a lot out there. There was a lot of different ways we could have taken this, a lot of questions and of course I was really impressed with the way, first of all, God bless Kirill for being able to translate all that very well for us. And Alexey with these great answers. My favorite is no ideal practice. You'll recognize that at the event. And by then it's, I love it. That was my big nugget from the interview.
Somebody else asked in the chat, are you recording and correcting technique? The answer is yes. Yeah, absolutely. We do that.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think any professional team who's not doing that sort of thing right now is behind.
Yeah, we don't do that every day. I want to be clear. Like we don't,
No.
go up and especially like Max, right? We didn't talk much about Max because tonight was really about Alexey, and I think more people know about Max.
Right.
But Max, who runs the U.S. training facility in Tampa, Florida, some of the guys get Max one-on-one, right? Like Eli Roberts, who's just joined us at World Cup last year. Eli's had Max one-on-one, right? So like he doesn't need to record it. Max is right there with him, making those corrections, helping with, set up foundational things, snap shooting. I mean, Max is, he's a brilliant guy too. So we're really, really blessed with Red Legion to have the coaching staff that we do. It's impressive. It's impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, we're spoiled, right? Like literally when they were talking about kind of the top down stuff, like we do have a strength and conditioning coach. We've got Eugenia who helps with all the things that are just kind of hanging, right? She just kind of like as things need to be fixed, there's some sort of problem out there. Sometimes I don't even know if the guys know that it's a problem, and she just fixes it, right? So we really are incredibly blessed, right, to have the staff and group of people that we do. And I'm really excited for the stories, right? So Jameson is a player. Jamo, I've been talking about him since kind of World Cup last year, that I really feel like him and Eddie have really done the work to earn meaningful opportunities. And it sounds like they're going to get them. I'm really excited about that because Jamo is a story. He is a story of the training process working, from a young man who's really committed to it and is really taking it serious. Jamo's he's a great story, right, of how the training process really does work. So I can get beyond in my recruiting process. I can get beyond you guys had that one kid and he quit. And I'm like, yeah, but he quit before the miracle, right? Jamo will be the story that didn't quit before the miracle. And we're going to see it come to fruition next season. I don't expect Jamo to come out and be amazing, right? He's going to be, he's still in the development process. He's not Kirill yet. They play very similar position. He's not Kirill yet. It's going to take him some time, but I'm really excited about the opportunities he's going to see. And Eddie too, like Eddie's played so well, last year in Tampa at the first event, I thought Eddie should have played more than Pasha. I thought he really was going to steal Pasha's position. So it's cool to see that happen, man, as a coach, right?
Yes.
You pour stuff into these guys and then you start to see them get it. And you're like, this is the fruit, right? This is the fruit. Right. I've been sowing and watering and fertilizing, and here we go. Right. Yeah. We have an opportunity to see kind of the fruits of our labors.
Yeah.
So
mine needs a little more sunshine. Mine needs a little more sunshine.
Yeah. I mean, they all do. Right. Like, again, we say this all the time, like we're all in this process. We're just in different phases.
We're just in phases.
Right?
That's all.
Yeah. We're all in this training process, just all in different phases. For some, it really is just keeping the sword sharp. It's just keeping it sharp, right? And trying to find, like, guys like Malloy, I feel like, are literally trying to find different ways to play the game.
Right.
Looking for those kind of different ways that he can help to evolve what the game looks like.
Yeah, so the choice of whetstone for the sword.
Kinda, right?
Yeah.
Kinda.
It's kind of the analogy I'm cracking. But anyway, I don't know.
Hey, really quick before we finish up. I am doing a clinic April 18th, 19th. The 2 weeks before will be some Zoom training. So I'll be working with the coaches on this one. If you want to participate, you need to get a hold of Steve at ruthlesspb.com to reserve your spot. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited about it. I wish you wouldn't have used that picture, but all right.
I don't know. I think it's a good one. I think it's an intense. Right.
I'm literally craning my head to get this much closer to the start box of the other team.
See, I thought you were looking. It kind of told the story of me. Did you really just say that to me?
No, I'm literally like looking at the other team's box and I'm trying to see who's walking out. Like this much distance is going to make the difference of whether or not I see the right number.
Oh, I like this idea. Hey, man, let me know.
Yeah.
Let me know. I'm down.
And
I'll be prepared. I'll bring my books. It'll be great.
And they are stoic, whether he wants to call it that or not. They're very stoic.
Right? I know.
But in Kirill's defense, to him, it is about being efficient, right? To him, that's an efficiency thing. It's like, we don't want to focus on what just happened. Let's move on to the next thing and get it right.
I just had that conversation this weekend. I was like, hey, we're steering energy in the wrong direction right now. Come off this, move it over here. And let's be efficient with our time and move forward. And
energy.
So, energy.
Yes. Yeah. That's the other thing, is like, we don't want to burn energy in the pit excessively doing something that isn't needed, right? Let's just move on to this next thing and put our energy into the field.
Right. Is this true of the Legion? If not, how does the coaching staff? Hey, Brian, you want to hop on this one?
Yeah.
Mike McGowan of Prime. I know that guy.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a stereotype in America that Russians are like robots and are not emotional. Is this true of the Legion? If not, how does the coaching staff deal with emotions on the team differently?
Great, Mikey, that's a great question. And you've been around long enough to see it. They are kind of emotionless. Like, even if somebody does something that's somewhat extraordinary, they don't really like say attaboys, or they didn't, but they're starting to. You're starting to see Alexey and Max, like, somebody does something extraordinary. I mean, Kirill in Cincinnati had 3 points where he shot all 5 guys.
Yeah.
Like, how much that?
But Ryan, is that because of their training methods and because of their approach to the game, that's expected?
Yes,
hey,
it is.
Going to get those, and when I see them, there it is. Congratulations, well done.
It is. It is. It's one of those things that, because of the way that we train, that they believe that that's supposed to happen, right? You're supposed to be able to do those things because we've prepared you for those types of moments, right? Which I totally understand. However, I still think, like, from an energy perspective, you gotta, like, you gotta, hey, nice
I'm
job,
with you on that one. Hey, where's the attaboy? I mean, let's acknowledge that. That was outstanding.
Yeah, great Justin job. Comes off at World Cup after winning a 1-on-3, right, against Impact, and I'm like, that was really, really pretty, right? Yeah. Like, that was amazing. Nice job, dude.
Absolutely.
So so those things are kind of starting to happen. There was even a moment at the fourth event in Dallas, which we hated. That layout was just awful. It was awful for us, right? Because it was so slow and two-pronged attack, and really not two-pronged because you could only go so far on the Dorito side. That gap between the wedge and the brick was really, it was a big risk, right?
Yes.
So it really became this like one-pronged attack, and then really you could stop it with the 2-on-2 down the snake side. It would just kind of stale over there, then it would stale on the Dorito side, and it was hard to get through the middle of the field once that stale occurred. We just didn't love it, right? So trying to do everything we can to shoot multiple bodies on the break, right? And Alexey had set up this play, and Justin was like, coach, I don't know, right? We run it. I think we shot 3 guys off the break. Right. Justin comes back in, and Alexey's waiting for him at the net, and he's like laughing, kind of like, yeah, standard. Yeah, standard. And Justin's like, all right, coach.
All right, you got me.
So some of those things are changing a little bit, right? There's a little bit more emotion in it. As far as when somebody goes out and does something really, really good. Yeah. They're great when mistakes happen. Like the team, when a mistake is made, it's like, hey, try this next time, and that's it. Right. And we just kind of move on. So it's really good when they do that.
Perfect. That's great to hear. Hope that answered the question. So,
yeah, I was trying to see if there's anything else in here. I think there's just points.
Yeah. We're talking about emotional intelligence in here. We're talking about, sports psychology. Emotions are sometimes needed for the fire, but over emotionality leads to a roller coaster type effect. Yes, I agree. I would argue that in a lot of instances, it's from a coaching perspective, the coach in certain perspectives has to remove emotion. Eventually it has to become a math problem. And so again, and that's what, to clarify, that's what Kirill was kind of laughing about when, he's talking about Coach Mike likes to, just like the Russian Legion, right? You're tracking specific stats and statistics, and you're doing this from a perspective of, hey, you know, coach, why am I not seeing the field this much? Or why is this guy who, you know, has this body of work compared to my body of work starting in front of me? And it's like, you can just go, questions?
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So,
Well, and that is, you know, we talk about that a lot on this show, right? Especially with teams that have a player coach.
mhm.
If you have somebody who can help keep stats, right, at practice, and especially in the tournament preparation process, and you then are using that data to sort of pick out who your players are going to be that are going to start, it makes that conversation with your peer really easy.
Agreed.
Right? You just flip the board around and you're like, this is why this person needs to play over you, right?
Mhm.
These, you know, KPIs that we've set up, you know, for this layout, and based on the metrics and the psychologies of the layout and what the meta is, this person needs to play, not you. That's
Right.
just how it works.
I agree.
So,
oh
yeah, man, what a fun show.
It
Glad
was.
those guys were able to do it. I would love to. I had no idea Alexey'd never been on one of these.
I kind of knew that.
With anybody in his 30-year career.
I know. Doesn't it blow your mind?
Yeah, we'll have him on a lot.
But once again, that falls back to what I believe the stoic approach of it is. It's like, if the team's being successful, I've done my job. It's like a famous saying, you know, when they see success, they will say they did it themselves. And, you know, and he just floats to the background. And I think that's what I really appreciated about having him on. You know, it was really cool to hear him talk at length, even if I didn't understand, you know, 99% of it, but I understood those smiles and some of those laughs. So
yeah,
and I got that one right. So
yeah,
I love it.
He's a brilliant guy, man.
Yeah,
he's a brilliant guy. So really, again, we, you know, between him and Kirill, you know, we could have hours of content.
No doubt.
Hours of content.
No doubt.
All right, my friend, let's get out of here.
Yeah, I got to get some sleep. I got 3 major meetings in the morning.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm skipping the gym tomorrow so I can work. I had to stop doing a couple things this afternoon to prepare for this, and I'm just insanely busy right now.
Yeah, I decided to bring that up because I broke my rule, and I read some comments recently. And
why?
Someone says, yeah, Bianca talks about his job too much, and thought I'd just bring it up.
I don't think you talk about your job.
I know. I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't think you talk
anyway.
about it. But, you know, perspective is key, right?
Lots of intelligent people out there.
Yeah.
Well,
thank you to the Red Legion Brain Trust for meeting with us tonight. And thank you to Major League Paintball Plus, Tom Cole, Kevin Fillers, Darren Cessna, and Amanda Maltz. And thank you to all of you and those of you who were live in the chat. We really appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. We'll see you guys next week. I think Mike and I are going to do a kind of a video breakdown episode next week. How to do it individually as a player, how to do it as a coach, and then different things that you may be looking for. We'll show you some metrics and some things, some tools that I'll show you some things that I use. I'm sure Mike has some things he'll pull up and show you what he uses. So next week we're going to do a kind of video breakdown tutorial so you can look for the things maybe we're looking for, and maybe you have a great sheet already and you want to share that with us. We'd love to have that as well. Yeah. So we'll see you guys next week. As always, I'm Ryan Gray with Mike Bianca. Be responsible.